You know, what if instead of streaming this, instead I just spent the entire night talking about Zodicus? It's not that I don't want to stream this, by the way. This is Vital Shell. This is what I believe is sort of a roguelike. I was gonna say arena shooter, but that I believe means something different from what I'm thinking of, which is more of like, somewhere in the Smash TV, or if you want more of the roguelike style, like Brotato kind of thing, like Vampire Survivors in a smaller area. And it is very heavily styled after a lot of PS1 era FromSoft games. The logo is giving me very heavy, like, Gundam model kit vibes, very specifically for, like, the grade logos a little bit. Not entirely, but just a little bit of, like, the way that V and the S, the font choices, the way they intertwine a little bit. My brain is like, there's gotta be one of the Gunpla grades has something kind of like that going on, but obviously it's always using a G instead of something else. But it's not that I don't want to stream this game. I was, however, faced with some technical difficulties that had me a little bit worried. With just a little bit of hope, things won't go completely to shit. But let's have a bit of a look here. Oh my god, that is pretty good. Oh, wow. This is some very, very solid visual choice. I mean, yes, absolutely. So we can just unlock everything whenever we want. That's cool. That's definitely... This is like somebody who's just like, okay, we need the platonic ideal of a Gundam. The cogs for the option screen is fine. Somebody's gonna be like, it's cogwheel. Shut up, loser. Bleh. Devotions, which is, Huh? Don't completely understand. Is this like skill trees or something? Is this our unlockables? The game guide. I love the style on this. This is just like... This just looks like an old strategy guide. That's real cute. And over here, this memory card that is literally just a PS1 memory card, but they scrubbed the logo off. Complete with, they put the little label on there, and while it's obviously written in MS Paint, it's just the shitty handwriting. Yeah, I definitely have at least one memory card that looks exactly like that. I think the label on mine is pink, but hey. It's very... They know what they're about here. This is... I have to give a little bit of credit here, just to start with, for the overall aesthetics, and, like, they're using a crappy system font for a lot of stuff there, and... Okay, I don't think that it would have exactly been like a Times New Roman kind of crappy system font on a PS1 game, but again, they're kind of nailing the idea, at least on paper. The sound effects sound like PS1 for sure. It's been a minute since I've like played a PS1 game that wasn't either Metal Gear Solid or FF5, which is a SNES game for that matter. So I'm in this sort of like, I agree with you, but also my memory has gone completely to shit, so I'm going to have to take your word for it. So right now we've only got one mech available, the Koenig. Built for survivability, blocking restores HP, boosting knocks enemies back and deals force damage. Damage scales additionally with block and armor. Forced me to play Dino Crisis. Oh boy. Oh dear. That sounds like it'd be a mess, really. Although, anytime I say something like that, I mean, I do kind of want to find one of the... There's been a device recently that was made that was like... It goes in one of the memory card slots and it has an SD card, and I think it basically allows you to use it to select disk images. Assuming that I'm correct about that, I would love to get hold of one of those, but I assume that it's quite expensive and that price has only gone up because LOL, RAM crisis. Wow. Cool. Friendly reminder that it's always a good day to firebomb a data center. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I'm not allowed to say that. I'm sorry. I might get in legal trouble for that. It's jokes to whichever NSA agent is out there. I am not a leftist dissident. I can't believe you fucks are going after people in your own country. Anyway. Something about dictator always colonizes their home country. Anyway. So, yeah, we've got some base stats that I assume are of a scale, but importantly, we block to do damage. As you do. We're gonna shield bash people. Okay, so L2 to boost, R2 to special. Manual aim with the right stick, movement with the left stick. So I believe we're on, like, auto-fire, basically, because you must remember that we are very much in an era, yeah, where we have the sort of Vampire Survivors style games, the Survivor-likes, if you will, or the Survive-a-ton, as they are now trying to make them. I guess because people just objectively do not like the concept of game/series name, like, you know, all these people discoursing about Metroidvania as a genre name, or Souls-like, or anything like that, and I get what you're saying, but guys, you're not going to make search action a fucking thing, alright? Anyway. Ooh, we can get ourselves a weapon. Balanced weapon with moderate damage and speed. Potency pierce. Impact radius. Ooh, we love a grenades. Sustained firepower and applies burn damage. Oh, we love a flamethrower, though. Let's check this out, because I'm not known for being able to keep my distance from things. But I see we've got sort of an elemental system. As I implied, while this is very clearly styled at least a little bit after Armored Core, this is also definitely taking a lot of inspiration from, like, all of FromSoft's PS1 era output. I mean, that Wave Complete text is very obviously a Dark Souls reference, just by the styling. And yeah, a lot of these fonts continue to feel like very much the case. Well, in this case, it's also the fact that it's like a low polygon robot, and not just, oh, it's robots. Which also, I mean, objectively, but moreover, so we got like these blue, red. So I have seen, by the way, a chart of, and don't worry, I didn't memorize it, upgrades for your robot based on these elements, and they literally have white, blue, black, red, and green color gemstones for them. We literally just get mana. Fuck yeah. But yeah, the whole elemental idea kind of fits in a little bit with like Kingsfield, and that was the other thing that FromSoft was putting out on the PS1 at the time was Kingsfield, because this was well before they created the Souls series. Although they were still making games that were like, you know, rip your own head off levels of difficulty. But yeah, the robot is styled a lot more Gundam than just being like a straight Armored Core design. Although the big chunky sword is definitely, I don't know, there's not a ton of like giant metal swords in Gundam. They do exist. I have that Goof Crimson custom Gunpla, and that has like a big sword with it. So they're not non-existent. It's just that back of my brain, I'm just like, they're comparatively rare. In any case, obviously this doesn't play anything like those games, but it has a lot of the aesthetic styling, it has the... It's clearly what they're going for as a visual basis, but instead it plays a little bit more like a twin-stick shooter. Again, kind of like Smash TV or something like that, which is an interesting sort of mashup, in my opinion. As like, here's your concepts that you have welded together. I mean, why not, right? I love to upgrade only my one weapon for some reason. Listen. Why am I doing that? That's a good question, Mega Man, but let's not accuse me of being a very smart person. Anyway, I've just in general been kind of hoping for a world of more games where you get to play as a giant robot of some description. I recently watched a short playthrough that friend of the channel, Lethal Feline, friend of Plastic Allen for reference, was playing through the demo of a game called Mass Builder, MASS Builder, which is another mech game that I've had my eye on. I went to go look at it, and first of all, the price was a little bit outside of what I had available to me at the moment. And also, there were just kind of... In general, it seemed like it hadn't been updated in a minute. So... that had me a little bit nervous and kind of disappointed about it. Armored Core 6, for reference, I haven't picked that back up on stream because while I think that objectively it looks like a good game, I just don't know if it would fit very well for the purposes of streaming, because it's like, hey, there's a lot of grinding that you expect me to do to be able to do all of the experimentation that I would need to in order to find what works best in every situation, which is a totally fair thing for you to expect me to do out of this type of game. So it would just be kind of tedious to put that out there into the streaming realm. And listen, I already am not sure if people enjoy anything I do in the first place, so that has me a little bit, you know, I'm, and I already get, like, very self-conscious about everything with this. And then you add in the fact that, you know, grinding is just, like, I don't know, I struggle with having conversation topics for an entire stream. I can tell you all about Zodicus, maybe that would help. What if I just keep dropping references to that for like 3 hours, and then somebody at the end is like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I just never explain. Oh, that would be funny. See, this is the other problem. My sense of humor is incredibly toxic. But I sometimes struggle to have things to talk about, especially with a small audience. This isn't intended to be a gag at anybody else. I apologize if it does. If it is. But it, you know, that would sort of make doing a more of a grind-oriented stream a little bit more of a thing that I think I would be concerned about whether or not it would be interesting, you know? I also hate to, like, take progress back, so... It's one of those things where it's like boss healing upsets people, right? It's the same kind of idea. Boosting consumes stacks and triggers a powerful attack that scales with the numbers. Ooh, neat. Yeah, let's take that. Now that I'm remembering to press my buttons a little bit more. The whole vibes here definitely have, like, a specific style that feels extremely 90s in a certain way, and I think it's the overall, like, tone of the music, too. Is that it's very, it's got that very, like, tropical synthesizer kind of sound, which to me, that's just like, okay, yeah, that's definitely a thing of the 90s. Hey, Lyris, how's it going? And yeah, Vital Wave, yeah, we're definitely playing that kind of game a little bit. Very much a horde mode sort of thing. Obviously, mechanically, nowhere near as Armored Core as you know. Somebody isn't out there making Armored Core but a roguelike, probably because there's just way too much overhead there for something that ultimately I think would be far too niche. I think it would be really fucking cool, but I can't necessarily say as everyone would agree with that idea. Hey, we got an achievement for completing our Golgari effect on our sword here. Exertion, huh? Felled enemies have a chance to leave behind a corrupt growth, dealing physical damage and collecting nearby sparks. Cool. I think. And yes, I suppose that literally they have, like, other names that aren't the MTG colors, but you know, pattern recognition, right? Oh, hey, I apparently killed 25 enemies in that single charge there. That's pretty cool. We got an achievement for it. Nice. To be fair, I think that's probably a little bit closer to what most folks would expect an achievement to be. Is like, you accomplished something, as opposed to, wow, you powered on the game. Wow, you completed the first chapter of the campaign. Spare me. I'm kind of torn about the idea in general, but that's all up to you guys. Anyone else? What anyone else feels about that? We're gonna grab some regen, I think, here. Unfortunately, that did throw out our block chance, which is sad because that's actually a thing that is really good for us with this build, assuming I'm recalling correctly. Ooh, we get our shoulder weapons here, and we get ourselves a, oh, that looks like a minigun, but it's apparently some sort of rail cannon, I suppose. But it's a physical type, and we've been building some physical stuff pretty heavily here. Yeah, like, that definitely just sort of looks like the, straight up the traditional, the traditional AC chain gun weapon. In particular, it looks like one half of the double chain gun weapons that you would get, at least starting in AC2 and stuff like that. Fun fact, I actually haven't played very much of the Armored Core 1 trilogy. That's a pretty big hole in my gaming and mecha-related knowledge. I need to get around to those someday, but I was also kind of waiting a little bit, at least at the time, I was waiting for a couple of years to try to get a copy of Project Phantasma, which is the middle game of... So I think we all kind of know a little bit about how the Armored Core games, at least most of them, is that it's multiple games in a progression and you can move the save file up with each game. So with AC1, you were able to move your save file from Armored Core 1 to Project Phantasma. and then move your save file from that up to Master of Arena. And then with 2, you were able to move it up to Armored Core 2 Another Age. AC3, you can move it up to Silent Line. I still have to do that because at some point... God, I last played AC3 fucking years ago, but I need to bump that up and play Silent Line for you folks, because Slack may actually be one of my favorite Armored Core games, period. Armored Core Nexus, you can move that data up to both Ninebreaker and Last Raven, yeah. They're 2 separate branches, but you can do it with both of them. Then Armored Core 4, you have For-Answer you can take your save file up to. And AC5 also has a follow-up called Armored Core Verdict Day. Armored Core 6 hasn't seen a follow-up yet, which makes me a little bit sad. Perhaps it was ultimately just a bit of a flash in the pan, which would make me rather upset if that was actually the truth. I don't want to think that, because I am a strong supporter of the franchise in general. Even if I'm not, like, always a huge fan of all the games, most of that is because I'm a fucking scrub. Let's be honest here. I'm kind of a scrub. Sometimes I'm amazed that I made it through AC3. And that game is honestly kind of easy by the standards of the series, but hey. Anyway, that went okay, I guess. Let's take some more of that. I am going to be trying to go for those affinities or whatever they're called. I think they're called affinities. And yeah, that is admittedly a thing that I saw a guide for. I've been spoiled on that. I'm not going into this completely, you know, pure of mind. It just is one of those things that sort of happens, more or less, by accident, honestly, because I clicked into the wrong page with trying to go check the forums to make sure everything was working okay. Which is usually a good thing to do, is just make sure that there's no weird GPU glitches. That you're not suddenly going to log into your game and it's going to be like, oh yeah, by the way, your GPU manufacturer done fucked up, and for some reason this means that your game now doesn't play properly. Like, oh yeah, Zotac fucking released the wrong patch, and suddenly your game that was running buttery smooth before, well, enjoy your 4 frames a second and your flames spewing out of your graphics card like it's a Mad Max dragster or something. Ah, yes, that's a wonderful looking rock. Actually, that might be too shitty even for PS1 style graphics. It's really funny though. Oh man. So as much as I, on some level, kind of feel like I should gripe about how at times it really does feel like a large portion of indie gaming doesn't have any sense of innovation, and it's just recreating things that exist already, but somebody has done a new version of them for some reason. I do at least appreciate the fact that there's very specifically this amount of space in independent game dev for stuff that has this retro feel. And perhaps part of that is because I'm old, haha, and I'm not necessarily the most interested in letting go of the past, but, you know, stuff like this, stuff like Atlas, I appreciate that on some level. I do think it's a little bit tiring to just sort of look over at some of them and see somebody who's like, oh yeah, we remade the mechanics of Super Mario or Zelda, except our spin on it is, you know, something designed to grab an audience. Like, one that I've been looking at was Kitsune Tales, and it does that quite a bit. In fact, like, one of the first banners that you see for the game inside of its Steam description has the most knockoff of Karibo's shoe that I've seen anybody yet develop for something. It's just like, okay, that's almost literally just the Mario 3 shoe, and you've colored it a different color. You know, Anya for developing a game and making the thing that you think the world needs and that you like, but also it does just sort of remind me of the fact that gamers, especially of my age cohort, are basically just baby boomers. You know, what baby boomers are for classic rock, but for a different medium. And I love all those old games too, but my god, it gets old sometimes. I'm not going to make any friends by saying that. I acknowledge this. Here, let's put the fire crystal into our big gun, because that might help it out a bit. Anyway, so far, this is surprisingly easy. Maybe I've just gotten good rolls. Which does worry me a little bit, because with games of this sort, becoming so strong that the game becomes too fucking easy too fast is a bit of a worry, because I mean, I acknowledge the attached power fantasy and everything, but also it just gets boring. I don't want to just play number go up. Not all the time, anyway. Listen, if I just wanted a infinite strategy, I can play a magic deck that uses Underworld Breach, I guess. I don't know. Also, yeah, that very particular drum tone that they're doing for, like, recreate the Amen break pattern, super duper PS1 sounding. I know, I'm gonna keep bringing it up, but, like, I appreciate it. The Vital Shell devs absolutely... You know, I'm sure that there's somebody out there who's a little bit more able to go, like, actually, streamer, you know... and can point out all the ways in which this absolutely does not resemble that era of gaming. And yes, that's true. For example, this game is in 16:9 widescreen. But outside of that sort of domain, I think that they're doing pretty well at it. And oh boy, what was I saying about wanting challenge? It's actually starting to crop up a little bit there. That's what I get for talking shit, I think. Anyway, hold up. Did I? Yeah, show me my... I did fuck up! Oh! I thought I put the black crystal in the first gun, but I did not, so... Well, at least we know the game didn't glitch out. It was just me being a stupid asshole. I think just in general that I have more of a specific sort of affection for PS1 to PS2 era, N64, GameCube kind of stuff than I do a lot of Super SNES and I said Super SNES, that was on purpose, BT dubs. It was part of the bit, but a bit more of an affection for that stuff than I do a lot of more older sort of gaming, retro gaming. Which is weird, because I definitely did play a fair amount of, like, 8-bit and 16-bit stuff when I was younger. Especially through the power of emulation. But I suppose I don't remember a whole lot of it very well. Granted, I have a lot of memory issues, period, but... even so, I guess, you know, you decide how much of an effect any of that in particular has, specifically, I guess. And, yeah. So, you know, a lot of the stuff like Yacht Club Games coming out with Shovel Knight and obsessively detailing, hey, here's how legitimate and close to NES-grade graphics any of our stuff is. Or not even just graphics, all specifications. And it doesn't seem very impressive to me, and yet I'll mark out for this style of thing any day of the, you know, any day of the any day. So you can all decide on your opinions on that. Hey! Alright, so we got our Equilibrium effect, and we got an achievement for that as well. Felled enemies have a chance to leave behind a light well, inflicting physical damage to enemies. Standing in the well restores HP. Well, neato. That might be quite helpful in the ending over here, where we got our last two waves. That's right, just stand in the UFO light and you'll be fine. I promise no part of you will get abducted by it. Not even your wait. That's right, the aliens aren't very interested in you. Don't know how to tell you this, gang. We humans are boring. Which is probably one of our biggest selling points on some level here. Ah, jeez. Ah, heck. I'm so glad I didn't just run into another. I wasn't going to die in one hit after that, but it definitely felt a little bit like it. Hey, nice. Another achievement for our Fusion Resonance. Felled enemies have a chance to trigger an explosion that does more damage for each enemy caught within. Sounds pretty good. Ooh, here we go. Here's the boss. Corrupt Blood... yeah, that's a Soul's name. Look at this dude in his 4 arms. And his 2 guns. And his color scheme, he's like Hustler 0.5. I kind of hope this dude is like the boss of every location and they just vary up his weaponry or something. Not because he's a good fighter or anything. I mean, it's, you know, it's serviceable. But mostly, again, just because that color pattern in the back of my thing, I'm just like, yeah, that's a real classic. Also, damn, he takes a while. Wow, I got an achievement for reloading a weapon 45 times in a single wave. Imagine the kind of goofball build you need to be able to actually do that in not a boss. Oh, you got me. No. Rank F. Boo. It's because we didn't kill him. Oh. Our damage was pretty bad, though, wasn't it? I mean, to be fair, I don't completely know what I'm doing here, so... I wasn't quite at the point of building a real build yet. We'll get there eventually, but we get some experience points for our devotion here. Select an affinity to devote yourself to. At the end of each run, gain experience in the selected track, awarding permanent stat increases with each level, accessible from the main menu. Neat. Hey, cool, we unlocked a new gun. Low damage for the chance to hit on... with a chance on hit to frenzy. Blah. Granting an attack speed bonus. Earth Shatter. Revive. Ooh, we got a new gemstone, I see. Or tier 2 green gemstone, I guess. The Peridot. And the tier 2 black gemstone, Paynite. Hey, gives us some lifesteal, too, on top of damage. Nice. We love to see it. Another tier 2 here with Black Pearl. Gives us some damage and some attack speed. Pretty good. And we get some permanent starting armor. And block. Excellent. Cool. So we got some good stuff there, I guess. Well, folks, that's Vital Shell. And I hope you like that style of gameplay, because we're going to continue to play this for the next, until we do 3 hours of stream. So, yes. We're going to be checking out quite a bit of stuff as we go here. I assumed that in order to unlock each of our new mech types, we're going to have to just win a run with the previous one, aren't we? Sorry, I'm just twiddling the fans here because, summer. 80 degrees and stuff, and plus there's whatever amount of heat that my PC is radiating as well, because it's a type of radiator. Not to be confused with those slime enemies that we were fighting in FF5 that were for some reason called radiators. Oh, what a strange choice. Anyway. Yeah, so we have not unlocked a new level yet. It's time for us to return to the island here. The Island. Meanwhile, surrounded by quite a bit of is-not land, right? Like you guys haven't heard that joke before. Alright, can you tell me about... Okay, yeah, the Hand of Justice is already a physical. I feel like we should sort of lean into the physical stuff. Just because then, if we have a single damage type, then whenever those damage percent buffs come up, they'll actually feel valuable. I'm sure that there's probably a strategy where you want to where you want to mix things up a little bit. So that way you can do multiple types of things, but for the time being, I'm doing things this way. We got ourselves a Painite. Painite is a very interesting gemstone. It is a real gemstone. It is incredibly rare. I believe, like, only a double-digit number of examples exist in the world that have been faceted, which is quite sad. It's usually very, like, red and black and kind of nasty looking a lot of the time, too. Which means that, let me tell you, if I had infinite dollars and I was going to get a piece of jewelry, I probably would be like, hey, can you find me one of those? And, like, cut it up, make it look nice, and... I'm sure that that wouldn't really be a thing that I'd be lucky enough to actually... You know, never mind the amount of money that would be required there. There's just the whole part of actually being able to find said rock. I don't know, maybe they can lab grow them now. It seems like manufacturing most gemstones is reasonably possible at this point with modern chemistry and stuff. Based on the little bits that I know, which admittedly is not really nearly enough to say anything like that, but hey. Let's apply that. I mean, I know that we've already learned the Orzhov combination, but Lifesteal just seems really good. I could just put it on the other weapon, but I don't feel like it. I'll take the block chance. The other one's pretty good. The handling. Yeah, see, we get that back anyway. Okay, yeah, that seems a little bit more controllable, and also, again, it synergizes with the fact that we're going for a primarily physically oriented build here. Try to give ourselves a little bit more well-adjusted DPS. Oh, that's pretty sizable hail of bullets there. Blitz. Yeah, give me some of that. I don't know how strong that actually is, but it doesn't seem that important most of the time. And to start diversifying immediately, right? Try not to just build the machine gun straight into Rakdos. I'll have to find a non-black gem, which, I mean, if I find a black gem, it's probably just going straight to the sword, so... Okay. Pick up our handling. That boost recharge, that thing does a lot of business, so. Charming? I mean, thing's kind of neat. Let's go for it. Better to grab it as early as possible if you are going to take it, right? Alright, we'll take the HP. Yeah, some more strength. We like our DPS. Let's get some more lifesteal on that sword. Why not? Save our making other decisions for later. Might have been a little bit needless in some regards, but it's fine. Probably. Take that. Take our soul upgrade here. Grab the Earth Forger again. Very heavily into that physical damage. I swear at some point I might actually try something a little different, but for now, I won't. Nice. I mean, that potency effect with the amount of piercing weapons that I have, that would probably be kind of helpful. So I will take that here. Take the power upgrade, though. And lastly, gonna max out our sword. Give it its ability to make its UFO lights. Also a source of physical damage, which is great because we've been getting so much stuff that's physically oriented, so that's kind of helpful. Anyway, I wonder if they're gonna let me get a mech eventually that's like a wizard or something. That'd be pretty great. It was a bit of a waste. Oh well. Yeah, give me some more block chance, please. Upgrade that thing with more damage. Okay, a little bit more critical chance, I guess, and some more attack speed. Take that flurry effect. I don't know how good or how long this crit buff is, this crit-based buff is gonna last, but paper, it sounds pretty decent, you know? Oh yeah, now we're really zooming with those that attack speed. Whoa. Once those stacks get firing, oh boy, we are firing on all cylinders. Some good stuff. Is now the time to buzz at me randomly. It's probably going to just tell me the weather or something. It's like, wow, it's 80 degrees or so outside. Who could have imagined it's fucking 8 p.m. in July in the Midwest? Of course it's like 80 Fahrenheit. Are you kidding me? Of course! What other kind of temperature would it be? Besides crappy. Nice. And what else can we get for ourselves? Let's get some speed. And let's max this thing out and get ourselves another unlock and achievement. Radiation! Reloading summons exploding orbs that surround the shell. Hell yeah! Unfortunately, by calling it radiation, I do immediately have to start thinking of fucking Imagine Dragons. Radioactive. Clinty with a shovel. A family member used to really love that, but I think it's because, like, for a period, rock basically didn't exist on the radio, new rock anyway. So it's just like, oh yeah, it looks and feels and roughly smells like something one recognizes. Pretty sure that's how Nickelback got so popular, too. But I'll accept Nickelback well before I'll accept Imagine Dragons. Cool. If I have to give up my credibility for that, well then, that's just how it goes. Let's take our Incinerate here. Our Incinerate. Oh god, was there just like a... No. It was because of a combination of the UFO and the fire pool. And there was a crystal placed in the same location, so it just sort of looked like a frying pan with like a rubberized thing over the handle. I thought for a second that the icon was literally just somebody's cast iron cookware, which was going to be so funny. It's not that, but the end result is still kind of hilarious in of itself. Ooh, nice. Got an achievement / unlockable for recovering 500 health through regen and items across a single run. Neat. Good stuff. Good shit. Okay. Pretty good here. Take that. And in order to, I guess, give ourselves a better chance of better variety or something, do that. Sure, this is a really good way for me to end up getting completely shafted in the end, but hey. In my defense, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing yet. Also, I think maybe you don't actually gain any of the experience that gets sucked into you at the end of a round. I just thought you did for some reason, because I wasn't able to get a good look at how much the meter was moving. Oh, we died. Damn. Well, we still got some stuff unlocked, at least, so, hey. Wait, did we lose our... We must have lost our revive at some point. Okay. That's 5 regenerating. And the moonstone we unlocked. Yeah. It's our white rock now. Our good white rock, anyway. Armor rating 2. Yep, we got some more starting armor. That's pretty good. Some more bonus block cubes. Yeah, see, there's an icon here. Kind of indicates to me we're getting a robot. That's a wizard robot. Yes, yeah, wizard mech. That's the thing I'm looking forward to. Conceptually, it sounds very silly. focus, I guess, for fun. Let's take that. Oh god, the speed at which the sounds come out when you're in frenzy. Is very silly. Yeah, sure, let's start upgrading the gun this time instead. Here, I want to reach a completely absurd level of DACA with this, just like I can't do the noise very well, but we got an achievement for equipping 15 different weapons and abilities. I didn't realize we'd hit that many that fast. I mean, obviously it's not that many on at the same time, but hey. Maybe it counts different effects from level ups or something. Or different types of stones you've picked up over time. Wouldn't be the strangest choice I've ever seen out of a game like this, to be fair. Which isn't necessarily saying a whole lot, but hey. Let's get some regen rate on that. You better believe we're taking that thing. Moonstone, that's a pretty good rock. That Moonstone is what you use in order to get yourself Nidoking. And probably some other Pokemon that aren't as cool. I think for sure in one version you use it to get like Umbreon or something. Right? Like there's the Duskstone, which I guess technically would count too, but you know. Come on, that's not as good. Fuck my life. I didn't refill my water bottle earlier. Whoops. Should probably go downstairs and refill my water bottle. Do that in a couple of minutes, I think. Yeah, I mean that barrage effect seems to be pretty good. I think at least some part of why I died last time is because I just played like shit. I got a little too reckless with it. This time if I use at least one brain cell, we might be okay. I mean, that is kind of asking a lot from me, but hey. Crit boost. Dodge rate upgrade. I'm gonna go reread my achievement list real quick here and make sure that I didn't get the red-green combination yet, because... Yeah, okay, so that's the black-green one. Alright. Cool, we haven't gone Gruul yet. We haven't faced a particularly grueling challenge yet. Although... Excuse me. Take some of that, and yeah, a little bit more physical damage. That seems to be pretty good. I mean, Power Cycle seems pretty strong too, just because we should be reloading very fast, but I'm enjoying the crit build, I think, on paper. Maybe this time I'll actually try to go for some of the blue gems for some of my weapons. Oop. Slapped my pop filter. Whoops. Anyway, everybody. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go refill that water bottle. Alright, I'm back. And did anybody guess what I'm taking for this level up? For those of you who didn't see, it's plus 5 max health, plus 5 crit strike, or plus 10% physical damage. And yeah, it's just the raw damage. We're just gonna go with that, and we're off to the races here. Upgrade our needles here. Those Nova effects on heal are doing a lot of work here. Oh, yeah. And that vision buff, actually, getting a couple of levels of that is kind of essential to making your life a little bit less painful here. They're doing some good work with this. Alrighty. Alrighty. Oh, yes. Yeah, see, there's like no experience crystals lying on the ground there. Hell yeah. Alright, give me some more regen rate. Yeah, see, things are really getting a little bit better for us here. A little more attack speed, why not? And once again, we take the big gun because that is our main physical DPS is our thing here, so... do indeed love that quite a bit. And we did leave quite a bit of experience on the floor there, unfortunately, but that's the way it goes sometimes, isn't it? Alright, max this thing out. Hey, we unlock the Sunstone, and... Germination. Attacks have a chance to emit spores that erupt, dealing physical damage. Yeah! Yeah, more physical damage sources. Fuck yeah. So we just start... shitting these things everywhere. Oh, that looks real funny, actually. I'm enjoying this. Comedy classic. Yeah, just... absolutely ridiculous sounding looking objects. I have to admit, these effects are certainly boggling my mind. the coloration on those spike balls when they are at certain angles. It's fun. Love the look of this game. I mean, it also helps that it's a pretty fun game overall so far. I've played worse, well, of basically any kind of roguelike, period. Oh, yes! Give me that critical strike attaches stacking speed buff. Oh, yeah, now we're getting silly. That's the kind of stupid fucking noise that I love to hear. Yeah, let's get some more damage going there, and yeah, we'll put the Sunstone in the Earth Forger. So now our goal with that is more white crystals, but that is kind of like, oh boy, we need a lot of those white crystals, don't we? Rerolls would be a good thing to have access to. But I don't know when we get access to that. Or, like, bans would also help. Did I say the white crystals? I mean the blue crystals. I'm confused. Happens all the time, really, but hey. And some more attack speed. Well, I mean, speaking of white crystals anyway, there we go. More upgrades for the sword. Continues to pronounce the W in sword to be very annoying about it. And it's a very good skill of mine. I swear this is funny. It's probably not, but hey. We'll take more of a soul buff there, and Incinerate. Our critical ability is getting really good, so upping that to leave more fire pits everywhere seems like a good idea. Seems like it'll get us a lot done here. Oh, wow, I didn't realize we were that close to death. Wow. That just sort of happened to us. Oops. Oh, we were doing real good, too. Oh, gut-wrenching. Oh, we got that thing, and we got armor buff. We do not yet have access to another tree there, but you can see that our devotion level is almost maxed out or almost to level 5, rather. And look at all that stuff that we can go through. Okay, so... got all of this stuff still to dig into. Excuse me. Like 3,000 damage in a single run. Wow. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of stuff for blue gems that we haven't unlocked yet, and also there's quite a lot of stuff for attaching 4 gemstones of a single color, which I didn't notice before. Let's go all in on some of those. Gotcha. Might be worth trying for some of those right off the hop here. Take that. And yeah, again, I like the Riot Needle. It seems pretty good. Trying to farm a little bit of that time for remaining stationary. Okay, yeah, see, they don't want to give me any of the blue gems to start with, so I guess I'll just start eating whichever is strongest. Block chance. There was also one that wanted us to get a lot of block chance, so we should probably do that. Drain seems quite potent. It's basically anything that... While it's healing, you know, seems pretty good. Oh, these guys actually shoot, so I can't just stay still for them. Strength. Potency will increase the ability of our machine gun there. Nice. Glad we get back to full health there. We'll take the dex boost, I guess, and some more handling. Yeah, keep boosting that. That seems like it's pretty good. Distance. And again, take our barrage. Strength. Oh, hey, look, more strength. Okay. That on there. We get more blue, we can just stick it on the other weapon and it'll be like, yeah, that's fine. That, in theory, will let us set up for something else. For a second, have to remain in theory, but hey. Left a good chunk of experience on the ground there. It's moderately embarrassing, but hey. Yeah, let's try out Power Cycle. Again, seems like it should be pretty easy to get. What we do with our current build. As I proceed to land no hits to get any frenzy with, so ultimately doesn't matter too much. Oopsie, I shouldn't have said anything, clearly. Whoops. Alright. A little more vision range couldn't hurt us too badly. Yeah, we'll take the Moonstone for the Hand of Justice. Giving something a source of lifesteal would be very helpful. I admit to being a little bit concerned with the amount of damage that I take here lately, so... Alrighty. Yeah, give me that extra power buff, and we got a target to make with block chance, so we want that. Take the potency boost as well, and grab our Earth Forger here. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. Okay, we didn't leave very much on the floor there, so that's good. Strength and... And either white nor black, but that's okay. Take that. Excellent. The Black Pearl will get us that thing, and we unlock the Aquamarine for the future. Induration. Critical strikes freeze enemies and deal additional elemental damage. Neat. Pity that's not buffed by our strength stat, but hey. The freeze ability is quite welcome. Okay, those crystal effects for the freeze are a little bit more, like, programmer art sort of style, as opposed to fitting the PS1 vibe, in my opinion, but I appreciate it. I think it's cute. And the game's visual style is very fun. I like it. I enjoy it. It's pretty cool. Alright, take that. Take that also. I'll take the flurry boost, and we're off here. Let's get some very funny attack speed numbers going here. Come on. Oh, fuck. Ah, shit. Really? That's embarrassing. Well, we did at least get our next level of our devotion trophy here, and we made an unlock, so that's good. That was really bad. I feel real stupid right now, actually. Yeah, just a second, and I will turn to things. I'm curious if the entire... Ugh, excuse me. I'm curious if the entire Divinity track is just going to be armor and block. Not that I mind. That's quite good, but still. Alright, back into it. Let's go. The rate this is going, maybe by the end of the stream, the only thing we can hope to actually accomplish is unlocking all the Divinity devotion. Although, honestly, even if it is just that, that's pretty good. Yeah, we're gonna stick with this build because I like it, at least so far. Those eyeballs are remarkably tough, actually. 10% critical strike, 5% damage. Yeah, we're putting that in that thing. That's very nice, actually. I mean, I'm sure for some people it's probably a thing that seems a little bit silly since its basic damage is so low in the first place. But still. Ugh, excuse me. This wave is one where we cannot really accumulate standstill time because those guys are too far away to hit for us to hit. That. That. Yeah, a lot of this is getting pretty straightforward at this point. Take some more of that, and dexterity. And work on our Is It gemstone, I guess. I could have started to prep another blue gemstone, but this'll do. This will do. Seemed like a pretty good heal that we got from the healing thing. So we were quite low there. We were absolutely playing with fire quite a bit. Totally frank with you, I am continuing to do so. God, we left so much experience on the ground there. That was pretty bad. It's pretty bad of us. But hey. Yeah, give me that +5 regen. So I can have the Nova effect. There's a story that goes that the Chevy Nova absolutely failed in Mexico because Nova in Spanish sounds like Nova. It doesn't go. That, I believe, is untrue. I think they changed the name of it, either that or it didn't actually have an effect. But it's also one of those things, it's like, well, it's very funny, and also we love to see a corporation suffer. Especially if it's the consequences of their own actions. And I fucked up! Again! Hooray! I'm stupid. Anyway, yeah, no, I don't think that actually happened, but it is very funny to consider nevertheless. Yeah, look at us. We got ourselves some more armor out the deal. Are each of these +10? Yeah. And then armor is just kind of like graded on a curve, really, so the more of those you get, the less they matter. But the block percent chance, that actually does matter. Anyway, let's try not to die that fast this time. That would be nice. Yeah, these are all about the same, so that. Oh god, I'm gonna sneeze again. Oh jeez. Oh, excuse me. I'm so full of that today, I apologize. That, and... What's our... Oh yeah, it's a drain effect. Right. And after this we get a special attack. Cool. I'm trying to just farm up this idle time by not touching the controller at all during some of these sections. Just in case manual aim has an effect on it. Which would be so stupid, but I could totally see it happening, you know? Grab the green one for that. Green, I think the potency gems are the ones that we also have the second least of, rather. Because we still need to get the white-green one, I believe. That. And that. And yeah, see, that's a good reason to do it, is... And we can get our Fury stacks here. Our Fury swipes. Buff. Damage boost. That in there. I guess we just hope for a lot of green gems at this point. Or perhaps a bunch of blue gems. Either way, I bet this game is going to be super rude about not giving me what I'm looking for. Every video game treats me like butt once in a while. Regen. Get some more potency. And physical damage. Okay. And once more, the Earth Forger. See, look at that. We're getting good business now. Ah, our frenzy ran out. I might actually have to start pressing the stick before 10 seconds. Yeah, alright, let's go for it. Good stuff. Might take me long enough that 10 seconds would be too little. Alright. Now we have all of the combination gems for combination gems for black, so we don't have to worry about picking up any of those. As much as the Painite one is nice, I mean, honestly, as much as any of the tier 2 gemstones are really good. Oh boy. They really don't want to give me what I want here. I should have put that in the other weapon. Whoops. I wasn't thinking. I was not thinking. Oh well. Alrighty. I mean, pretty good. Can't complain about that. Yeah, sure, let's take that. Why not? Oh, hey, neat. That's our achievement for spending 5 minutes stationary over the course of a run. Well, I no longer need to do that. Hell yeah. Getting special charges from crit when you have really good crit chance like this, very strong. I probably need to spend a little bit more time playing things a little bit more safely, but hey. Let's not accuse me of being necessarily the safest person in the entire realm here. I'm not. Oh, hey, we don't have an upper cap to how many special charges we can have, do we? I also don't need to hold still anymore. Why am I doing that, right? Which is a waste of time, effort, and resources. Hey, there we go. Unlock the turquoise for doing that. Deflagration. Deflagration. Critical strikes trigger a slow-moving, burning wave. Alrighty. Sounds nice. Well, I guess define slow-moving, right? Yeah, I like how it's a bird. I thought it was just like a bunch of like crystally shrapnel or something. Nope, that's a bird. Adjusting my headset there a little bit here again. Take the incinerate effect again. I'm sure that I will not regret this. Aside from other ways that I will, probably. At this point, I'm pretty much just hammering the R2 button, and by R2 I mean right trigger. It seems like it hops around a lot in terms of what the button descriptions it uses are. Just spamming the spray and pray button. Seems like it gets quite a lot of effect. That, off we go. Yeah, so we're back below 9 of these. That's fine. Go ahead and shore up the numbers a little bit. We're willing to wait around while you shore up the numbers. The game really doesn't want to give me more block chance, does it? Eesh. And these fucking gemstones. Oh, man, these are not what I need at all here. Well, no red, no blue. Okay, fine. I guess I'll just split the difference here. Try to build towards, theoretically, 2 of the blue-white ones, because, again, I don't have that yet, so... I may as well at least try to get... you fucking game. Oh my god. Really? Really? Dickhead game? Jesus. God. Fuck you, man. Just fuck you. Alright, we're gonna take... lifesteal and damage percentage. We're gonna put that on that thing instead, I guess. And it gets a liquefaction resonance for, I guess, getting 2 blue stones. Attacks applied burning damage proportional to critical strike chance. I mean, that is nice though, but it's also like, man, with no rerolls yet. Oh man. That is like one of the really sad parts about this kind of game, is how much a lack of rerolls can absolutely fuck you over. But on the other hand, I suppose that is a little bit to be expected in its own weird way. Of just, yeah, that's how you, that's just sort of the way it goes, right? Okay, and we did actually get just the right thing to pick up the pearl. Okay, good. Fulguration. Light critical strikes, great burning rays of light. So, at least we're somewhere. God, this guy has a ton of HP. I mean, I know we already know that, but still. Ooh, boy. There's a lot to go through here. You can shove him with your boost, though. That's neat. Okay, so you shove the other enemies, too. I didn't realize. That's cool. Hey, we got there, and we got a rank S this time, which... neat. Well, we got something for killing the boss, and something for doing 200,000 damage with long-range weaponry this entire run, so that's neat. Reroll gems. Oh, thank goodness. Powerful enemies have a chance to drop reroll gems. Each time you find a reroll gem, you permanently gain an additional reroll per run. Gotcha. And we unlock the Bloodfang shell. Neat. Stability core. Accumulate potency while stationary. Resets every wave. Gotcha. Eagle Eye grants a large damage bonus but incurs a penalty for each enemy within short range. And there's our turquoise gem and our pearl gem. Oh, that thing seems pretty good, actually. Wow. And some more block for the other thing. As is perhaps to be expected. Excuse me. Boosting reloads all weapons and grants a bonus to attack speed. Neat. So did we unlock? Yeah, we unlocked the new level for everybody. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Actually, no, I'm going to test out the new mech. We're testing them out on the old map. I actually want to take a quick look at some information. Yeah, okay, so it's another physical weapon. So it might be worth it to, once again, just invest in physical damage. fact, that may very well be what I do. I don't know what the special unlocks are for this guy, but I know for a fact that we are missing the blue-red gemstone, and I think that's the only one of those combo gemstones that we don't have. I'm going to take a quick look here. No, I guess we're missing 2, huh? Darn it, for 2 acuity, 2 fury. And yeah, the other one will be 2 divinity, 2 spirit for Jadeite. Okay. Thank you, achievements list! It's not cheating if the information is literally given to you in the manual. Which that basically is. In some bizarre sense. Some comparatively abstract sense. Some comparatively abscart sense. That said, I do like the forearmed design. I feel like I would love to see that as like an actual option for an AC build. And okay, you'd have to have it so you like control both arms with one button on each side or something. And probably the left side would have to be restricted to guns because the double sword thing would be very awkward. But aside from that, I mean, the idea still seems pretty solid. Ooh, pickpocket. Neat. Let's try that out. There's a large group of enemies. Just sort of boost into them and steal some stuff. Nice. I achieved a weapon fire rate of over 12 per second just by sheer not even trying that hard. It gave me an achievement. Cool. Those are the best kind of achievements. It's like when you're not even fucking trying and you just get there anyway. Because, I mean, we hadn't even built for that yet, dude. And still the game was like, yeah, okay, have this. Okay. Who am I to argue with the game? It knows better than I do. So at bare minimum, during the next gemstone, we will not have to re-roll. Because there is no way for it to deny us all of the colors that we want at once. Unless for some reason it can pull multiple types of gemstone from the same color, which I have never seen yet, so who knows, maybe I'm about to be disproven. Maybe I'm about to get kicked in the nards for my hubris. It could happen. I won't say it'd be totally deserved, but oh boy, yeah. Actually, it would. But I digress. But I digest. let's take some of that. Take that. Sure. Let's try out Stability Core. Because it's completely new for us. So, hey. At least then it'll add something to our treasure hunter achievements. God, yeah, our starting block is actually really good, so let's take that. Block dodge, rather. Take some attack speed. Very nice. Let's grab that. So, there are now 3 colors that we want out of gemstones for the next one. So, we will not be forced to use a reroll at bare minimum during that phase. And we won't get completely caught with our pants down in terms of being able to get our last unlocks for those. Never mind, we died. Wow, that went real fast. Whoops. Clearly I wasn't paying enough attention. But we unlocked the Devotion to Fury, which is nice. We unlocked access to the Iron Maw, the highest fire rate weapon at the sacrifice of individual attack damage. Well, that's tolerable. I can deal with that. Get us another armor rating upgrade, and surely the capstone for that is going to be yet more block chance, which is totally fine by me. But we're going back to this guy, and we're going to those ice caverns. We're going to take a bit of a look at this new stage. So far the enemies that we're starting with are just the same as previous ones. I hope we get at least a little more variety than that in here. Otherwise this could get old, kind of at unfortunate speed. And also, I think this brick texture is a little bit too high res. That is unfortunate because it turns the look of the game from being a little bit PS1-ish, dare I say, even kind of vaporwavy, over to honestly kind of looking a bit just like an asset flip. Like, I've seen this kind of setup in so many games that were clearly made for $10 on Steam to turn a quick buck. The sort of thing that's like, oh, I bet there's a tax scheme involved here. But it's being done by someone who's too small time to do the real ones that you see out of big corporations. Such as being a big corporation, period. Alright, yeah, we want that block chance target to get met eventually here, so... Yeah, we're gonna really push that to the limit here. Oh, the like helicopter skull enemy is, I think we've seen it before, but it's behaving differently. I mean, it is still just sort of recycling the same asset a little bit, but they're doing something a little different with it, so credit where it's due, I guess. It still doesn't really impress me, but hey. I've seen them do worse already, so hey. Yeah, we'll take the Pearl, because that's definitely a lot stronger. Okay. Need a couple of levels here. Power cycle, again, seems pretty alright. Especially if we get a good amount of, frenzy stacks. I was like, what the hell is it called? Frenzy may not even be the word. But I was about to say fury, and that's not correct. You know that part. Oh, what the hell is that thing? Okay, they've got some new enemies. The content is slowly starting to trickle in. Fair enough. I suppose I feel it's just a pity they're not new models for all the same enemies. Let's do that. I think that was an enhanced blue gem, though, so I probably could have taken that. Oh well. Yeah, admittedly, our attack speed and our fervor procs this time are kind of booty. But, hey. But, in theory, we'll get there. Yeah, I'll take the Iron Maw. Look at that incredible attack speed. That's good stuff. Whoa, that's good squishy. Etc. And we are getting quite a lot of dudes, but overall we're starting to... We're taking what I think is little enough damage here. That's basically working out for us. Take that. Physical damage. Yeah, let's upgrade the Iron Maw some more. I guess we'll try to stack it for the quadruple purple crystal, if we're able to. Which I fully admit is a pretty big if. But that also gives all 5 colors a very... an actual use for us, you know? Severely reduces our need for rerolls as early as possible here. Because we're going to have to do it later, but we don't have access to a whole lot of reroll crystals. In order to get those, I'd probably have to go kill bosses. I assume that's what their description meant by, like, big enemies or whatever it said. Because games can be so allergic to referring to bosses by the term boss at times. Because I guess it's more of a slang term or something. I don't know. Maybe they're afraid of the big man looking over their shoulder and being like, "What the fuck did you just say about me, you little bitch?" Etc. To which I say, well, maybe IRL bosses need to lighten the fuck up, you know? Yeah. You know. Get some more of that. Strike reflex seems to be pretty freaking strong. I mean, our crit rate is not what it was in the last one, but hey. Retribution would have also been a potentially very good pick. Oh, geez, we were really cutting it close there. Give me that regen. Yeah, we'll take another Painite for that one. And now we're in a position again. We need one of each of the 5 colors, which admittedly is potentially kind of just as hard to get with minimal rerolls. But it's okay. The next 3 are just completely free. Alrighty. So, what's strange contraption, huh? We got a mini boss now? Oh, this guy might have a chance of giving us a reroll gem, which would be great, because although that wouldn't quite secure a guarantee for us being able to get all the gems that we want, it would definitely make things a lot easier. And I'll take a lot easier for sure. That's always nice to have. A lot easier at bare minimum. At absolute minimum. Easier is pretty nice. 3 would be better, but whatever. Unfortunately, it is not that, but hey. Sure, let's take the Retribution. I was very tempted to take the other one, and honestly, maybe I should have, but... I wanted to do something with my block chance, you know? And otherwise, it's really not necessarily always that helpful for me. I mean, it's hardly bad, but... Hey. Attack speed and potency, or striking damage. Take that. Alright, and then the next one is the last absolute freebie from gem rolls. Okay, we are very near the end here, and Yeah, let's take that. And we get our Garnet. Ignition. Weapon periodically releases fireballs. Nice and straightforward. And the fireballs just sort of like get chucked around. It's not as nice as I was necessarily hoping. Like, hey, give me something that shoots out with it. Or off to the side of it, maybe. I don't know. Instead, it's a little bit more non-interesting, I guess, in a sense. Alright, now remember that in the next level here, we need a black or a green gemstone, or we can just die, because I was playing like shit. Well, fair enough, fair enough. If I had used my stuff a little better, or gotten luckier with blocks, I guess, I could always do it as well. Hey, we maxed out our devotion to divinity here. That's nice. Unlock the Angel Stone. Ooh. So our white gemstone gives us a little bit of everything. That's nice. So here's my question. Do we keep those buffs if we toggle it off? I bet the answer here is going to be no. Which does make me a little bit heartbroken, but hey. I think I got time for one more run, but let's go back to the first stage because it looks a little bit easier. Grab our crit early, because on-crit effects seem to be pretty good. And yeah, no Riot Needle for us. We'll take the Argent Lance instead. Got better range. The attack speed will improve eventually. Gain levels when we gain that stat. In theory, we will. And we'll take the potency gem. We'll just start working on that one. Start with. I mean, an extra 10% chance for a double attack rate is not necessarily bad. Take that. Crit strike some chance to give that already. That's pretty fast. That's pretty soon. Sure, we'll take the strike reflex already, even without having a special weapon. Maybe we'll accrue charges even before we can get one. Or just be ready. Take that. Off we go. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of block chance buffs in a row. Hell yeah. You'll love to see it. And I didn't do the math to see if we actually kept that good basic stuff from maxing out the devotion to divinity or not. Get some extra damage. That. Ooh, nice. Alright. With the Angel Stone. They're sort of nice. Big boost in everything. Alrighty. Plus, it's just a good buff to our stats, period. Hey. Hell am I? Yeah, sorry, I started multitasking, which is a buffoon thing to do, but hey. Wow, I ran down all of my my guns there pretty badly. Whoa. That's fine. Yeah, I'll take Power Cycle, I guess. Yeah, we have got some pretty good blocks, so we're resisting a lot of the damage that's being thrown at us, which is great, because that really enables me to just play like a complete tool. I don't have to use strategy at all, because I'm Homer Simpson. Wait. Excellent, and we are never punished. Once again, getting our last of the bicolor gemstones here, the Jadeite, as we get Hand of Justice, Expurgation. Reloading triggers a piercing physical attack that collects sparks it passes over. Nice. I like it. I love it. Sparks, I believe, are the experience gems. Their technical name is that. Nice. We just got the block chance of 66% as this guy. So that's pretty solid. Must have gained a level during the match, and that gave us the extra block chance that we needed. Well, that's effectively a 2 in 3 chance, right? I don't know if it necessarily is going to work like that, because it might be pseudo RNG, it might be some very silly math, but hey. Good stuff. And yeah, we have the Earth Forger this time instead of whatever we were hoping for. One of our big nasty-ass minigun here. Well, it's not even a minigun. What am I thinking? This is the linear gun. Grab a little bit of that, and yeah, you know what? I'm gonna put this in here. I think that the 4 white gems was not the one that we got for unlocking the whole thing, so let's take a look through here. Yeah, so there's still a light stone that we can unlock for 4 white gems in one weapon. So, hey. And just stand here and accumulate a little bit. Our block chance is so high that I can take a little bit of downtime, you know. Alright, take some more of that. These are not actually great, but I'll take Retribution, I suppose. 28, I believe, is the target level, by the way, for that one that required level, which is still kind of a ways off, but we might still get there. You better believe I'm trying, alright. I am beyond hopeful here. Okay, alright, another moonstone. Excellent. The other weapon can just have whatever, it doesn't matter. Alright. I don't know how far we are from our target level here, but we got a couple. Yeah, we're at 25. I mean, we could get there. And we got most of the experience there. That's pretty good. Yeah, no, I'm feeling the aquamarine for that one, actually. I don't remember if blue-red is a good effect, but we might not even go there. We're only at 26. It was 26 where we had to... No, I think it was 28. Oh, now I've forgotten. Crap. Alright, plus we unlocked the Lightstone, that's nice. Purification, reloading restores HP and deals physical damage to a nearby enemy. That is pretty cool. But what defines a nearby enemy here is my question. Oh well, I guess we'll find out sooner rather than later. Although, we are pretty fucking close there. Yeah, just one more in which to get that level 28. I think it's 28. We shall see if we're able to pick that up. Or if we didn't already beat the target level, I guess. Whatever the case may be. We are near the end of the run. And honestly, even if we don't get that, we got quite a bit this run anyway, so that's already pretty good. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we get that, but hey. Sure, we'll put that in there. We're not getting our proper dual color, but we get that liquefaction ability. That's still pretty good. And now, it's time to take out Bloodfang again real quick. Hoping that real quick is indeed the key word for this, because I feel like our damage is real good. Oh yeah, we're turning him into paste. Hell yeah. Very nice. A high score. We avoided, parentheses, block or dodge, 300 attacks in a single run. And we defeated successfully the boss again. Yeah, we done pretty good. And we get a nice devotion boost there. We get Aegis, some shields that orbit the shell, dealing damage to nearby enemies and grants an armor buff. Very nice. Riposte. Riposte? I forget. I think it's riposte. Anyway, after blocking or dodging, gain a stacking damage buff. Very nice. Jadeite. That's our tier 2. Gives us a little bit of lifesteal in addition to potency. The Lightstone, another tier 3, gives plus 5% lifesteal and restore HP on reload. Nice. A little bit of permanent attack speed up. And permanent speed, and yeah, permanent attack speed. So it's just going to be speed and attack speed, but hey, that's fine. Folks, that is about 3 hours of Vital Shell. Very cool game in terms of vibes. I mean, it's this style of game, so I don't know how much anyone will always get out of it, because, yeah, anything like this can get very repetitive. However, overall, I'd say it's pretty fun. I basically enjoyed it. Cool art style, visuals. There's a lot to like here. Plus, it is quite affordable, and seeing as how I believe this is still in early access. Let me go ahead and double check. if it says as much. No, I believe this is an actual, like, full release, so I wasn't quite correct, but hey, there's still a decent chunk of content available for it. And again, love that sort of PlayStation-y styling. A+ there.